Hello, people. How's it going? Well, this is creative writing and talking about books. I'll talk about Homer today. Well, by the way, I am going to try to do. Well, this week I had a lot of writing projects to deal with, and those do come first, so I do it until now. But I am going to try to at least post a YouTube video at least every other day if I can. But writing does come first because that's what I do mostly. So, um, but anyway. I am going to talk about Homer. This is my first. I'm trying to figure out what light is. This is my Penguin Classics, Homer the Iliad. Um, I like the Iliad. It is my favorite of the two books. When I took mythology in college, we had to read the Odyssey, and I'm sorry, I wanted to read the Iliad. Nothing against the Odyssey. Nothing against. I forget his name. Odysseus. But this book interests me more because it's humans and the gods fighting with each other, against each other, and getting in the way. I like the Iliad. Um, I like Homer. I think he wrote both of them. Um, the Greeks created a lot of the foundation for the literature we have. Granted, there was the Epic of Gilgamesh that was already there, and there were other stories already told, but the Greeks, they they created the foundation, as I said. And they created a great foundation. I will probably do a video on the plays of the Greeks, because I don't want to make this one too long. I like to keep them under 15. But I like Achilles. Achilles is my favorite person in this book. I don't care. I know he's full of himself and he's angry pretty much throughout the entire book. He's pissed off because Agamemnon took his prize. And if I remember off I think it's Andromeda. Is it Andromeda? No, not Andromeda. Oh, guess I'm terrible. I should have looked this up, but I didn't. I thought I remembered who it was. But it was his prize. He took the woman that he won in the battle and took her away. And Achilles got pissed and said, "I'm not. Goodbye. I'm out of here. Your best warrior is leaving." But it is a story of human nature, and the gods. It's it's a well crafted, great book. It is why literature is as good as it is, because I think in a lot of the ways, Greek literature is the foundation of all literature, at least in the Western world, at least in Europe, anyway. The stories of the Trojan War and my brain is not wanting it today. I'm just tired. Odysseus, and you don't really see much of Odysseus in this one. You find out about Odysseus' plan later. There's Hector. I liked Hector, but he was doomed from the start. And why am I drawing a blank on characters' names? This drives me crazy. Priam? Yeah, I'll just have to use the book. Priam, I like from King Priam. Played pretty good by Peter O'Toole in the movie Troy. He's a king doomed. He's trying to be noble. He's trying to do the right thing. He's trapped between loyalty to his family and, well, Troy. I mean, Hector dies nobly. Well, he dies ingloriously, but because Achilles drags him around the fort several times by his heels, and not nicely, I might add. I mean, Andromeda, that's it. Yeah, it's Andromeda. That's it. Sorry, people, I have to do it this way because I'm still learning this, but I'm determined to do it right this time. But, I'm sorry, but let's see. The name's back here. I'll just use the name. Damn it. Trying to find the man who started this silly war, Paris. Thank you. I mean, Paris falling in love with. Screw it. This is ridiculous. For some reason, I'm having a hard time today. I don't know what it is. It's not the sun. I mean, okay. I'm just gonna go through it. I don't care. I'm just gonna have fun. Let's see. Because I should know these things. I took this class, and for some strange reason, my brain is refusing to work today. Helen, thank you. Helen of Troy, the woman who launched 1,000 ships. Because Paris decided to pick, because there was a competition between Athena, Aphrodite, and Hera, who was the most beautiful. And Aphrodite promised him Helen. And who do you think he picked as the most beautiful? Which started the Trojan War. I mean, Paris is a... I mean, granted, he does kill Achilles. I mean, it's not in the Iliad, but it's in the Odyssey. It's recorded. But he is the one who kills Achilles. He's the one who shoots the arrow and kills him. Shoots him in his heel. And Achilles dies with honor of sorts. He dies gloriously of sorts. Of honor of sorts. But that's how he wanted to die. He didn't want to die of old age. He wanted to die in battle. And that was the Greek ideal, I suppose. You know, you live and die, your honor, and you save it. You don't run away. But Achilles, his human nature run amok. He's angry. He's always angry. It's the wrath of Achilles. That's why it's called that. And you know, Agamemnon. I can't say his poor guy's name right. But he goes back eventually and gets killed by his wife. That's a Greek play. I'll talk about that when that comes up. But it's written well. The gods are written well. You get a distinct impression that the gods are viewed rather human by Homer, despite the fact they're gods. Because they act more human than humans do sometimes. I mean, jealousy, rage, anger, bitterness, infighting. That's why I like the Iliad so much. It is literally revealing the gods for what they are. Petty, childish, immature, and pretty much prone to, human emotions as much as we are. But the story to me is fascinating because I like the characters. I think that's the point. I think I'm trying to overthink this. I simply like the story. I simply like the idea of the gods fighting each other and fighting either the Trojans or the Greeks, or getting in the way, causing problems. That's one problem I had with the movie. I liked the movie up to a point. I wish they'd put the gods in there. I know they have a brief scene with Achilles and his mother, a sea goddess, talking about, you could either die gloriously in battle or you can die of old age. And he chose to die in battle, glorious, die a noble death. But that kind of ruined the film for me. I mean, say what you can say about Brad Pitt, but he played a pretty good Achilles. I mean, yeah, he did. I'm sorry. I liked him as Achilles. I liked the film. I like the book better because it's the book. But I mean, the Iliad is a culmination of a long-standing oral tradition. Think of that. Before they wrote it down, they had to memorize this thing. And it probably went through some changes as time went on. That's just the way stories go. They don't stay the same unless you write them down. The oral technique enabled a master bard like Homer to develop what may historically have been an event of minor importance in the full-fledged epic. Well, Troy was found by Heinrich Schliemann. He did find Troy. Troy does exist. I mean, I have a book over there. It's a historical biography. Well, it's a novel historical biography of Heinrich Schliemann called The Greek Treasure, by Irving Stone. Irving Stone wrote a lot of historical biographies via the novel. He wrote one about Michelangelo, Vincent van Gogh, Jack London. uh, Heinrich Schliemann. But the Heinrich Schliemann, this book was history. So the Greeks, that book is history. My problem, I think, with this one, because when I took the mythology class, for some reason I found this book boring. Maybe not boring, maybe slow. Maybe slow is the right word. Nothing against Odysseus. It's a good book. It's a wonderful book. Nothing wrong with it. The gods do show up. They do meddle and get in the way and everything else, but it's not this one. I like this one. They're both Penguin classics, by the way. But I find the stories. How do I put this? I find them very human on both sides, the gods and the humans. I'm sorry, but if you actually study mythology, the gods are more human than the humans. They have the same petty, bickering, absurdity, emotions, and everything else that the humans have, except they justify it. Oh wait, that's what humans do too. But I like the Odyssey, but just not as much as the Iliad. I mean, it's an adventure story. I like adventure stories, but if I were stuck on a desert island, I'd take this one. He seems to get stuck on islands a lot and never seems to be able to get off them on time. In fact, he seems to sometimes enjoy getting stuck on islands. And it took him a long time to get home. It took him, what, was it 10 years? I think it was 10 years. I'm doing this by memory, so. I try to do these things by memory because I sometimes think it's distracting if I'm constantly looking at notes, but I may have to go back to that formula. But I find the story of human nature in both books. I find the story of good and the bad of human nature, of pride, of ego, of hate, of bitterness, of war, of love. Unfortunately, I'm not big on love stories, but I can handle this one because it has a war in it. Hey, War and Peace. I haven't read that yet. I tried once. I didn't get very far. But sorry. But I like Homer. I've always liked Homer. I like the Greek plays. I've read quite a number of them. I have read some philosophy by the Greeks. The Greeks created literature. They created the European foundation for literature. They created this idea of the heroic and the villainous, the lowly and the noble, the high and the mighty. I mean, I like the gods. I find Athena is my favorite goddess of Greek mythology. I just like her. She's the goddess of war, of tacticianous campaigns, and a lot of other things. Mars just wants to kill everybody. That's what he likes to do. But Aphrodite, because she's the goddess of love and beauty. She causes problems in this too and gets herself in trouble. But I'm waiting for 15 months. But overall, I think it's a great book. I only have the Penguin classics of Homer and the Iliad and the Odyssey of the Iliad. I have, as I said, I've read the Odyssey. I have read this one. Maybe if I reread the Odyssey, I'd have a different opinion. Well, it's been about maybe 10, 15 years since I've read the Odyssey, maybe. But they're worth reading. They're great books. They're very chock full of good stories, good moments, noble deaths, inglorious deaths, human nobility, human treachery. It is human nature. This is a good book on human nature and divine human nature. And yes, that makes sense to me. Because it does. I'm going to post this now because it's at 15 minutes. I don't want to make them too long. So I appreciate you all listening. Please subscribe. Leave comments. Thank you very much. Try to behave yourselves, people, because you know I'm not going to. See you later.